My name's Angela Pham, and I'm working with the Clean Technologies team. My supervisor is Kelsey Deutsch.
Currently, my team that I'm working under is the electrokinetic remediation team, and my supervisor is Victoria Collins.
I'm currently on the microplastics team, and my supervisor is Jeremiah.
Yeah, she just provided a lot of support for me in my learning during this co-op. Anything that I was interested in, like any professional development and any instruments that I was interested in using, she would train me on them.
Jeremiah helped get me started by helping me through my onboarding process, and he helped me get settled in the lab and made sure that I had good people around me to help train me up on the lab protocols.
They've given me a lot of really good training and the different things that I'm doing, so I feel pretty prepared to engage in whatever activity is set forward. And especially when it's a new activity, like if I'm working on a machine I haven't used, say like IC. Victoria's been really good at getting me booked up with people that can help train me, like Yuki and the rest of the team. So overall, it's been really good.
To make sure that the students are adequately prepared for the tasks that are laid out for them, I make sure that they're getting training from the most experienced people in that area or on those pieces of equipment. So if they're running ion chromatography, then I want to make sure that the person with the most experience on our team or on another team even within applied research, that they're getting trained from those most experienced people so that they're getting the best skills they possibly can. And that can benefit them down the road in the workplace as well. Other than that, I try to make sure I check in with them regularly, ensure that they're still motivated in what they're doing. And I think even more important than that is understanding what the students' motivations are and making sure that they have a combination of tasks. Even if a lot of their assignment maybe for that week is really boring, they also have some more interesting elements mixed in.
I try and support my students by giving them the guidance that they need to do the tasks appropriately, but also the freedom to try new things, to kind of struggle with problems, but still providing the guidance they need when they do get stuck.
Communication is key. You want to make sure that students are understanding what you're saying. You want to make sure that you're conveying information to them in a way that they're going to understand it and kind of remember it and use it in practice. Weekly touchdowns and asking for feedback, that's really important as well.
Ooh, okay. Jeremiah's helped us make sure that the lab is safe and we're safe when dealing with our samples. He helped show us how to test for H2S in the samples to make sure that we don't need to open them up in the fume hood.
I learned just to be patient and to just clearly think about what could be wrong instead of just frantically trying everything. So.
Yeah. The summer students that I've had in the past, there were two specifically that really excelled at what they were doing here on campus. And I told them I'd give them references for life. But the first one finished her semester and then went on to industry and was taken on at a plant research institute. And then I was able to provide for an additional reference, and she got taken on as an environmental consultant. And she worked in that for a few years. And now she's actually trying to get into Parks Canada. And so I'm again being called upon to be a reference for that. And I'm so happy to do it because her success is really important to me. My second student got really interested in the research that we were doing. It wasn't her passion in remediation. She was actually more interested in medical sciences, but her experience in research with us helped motivate her to stay interested in that field. And she went on to get a master's and then a PhD and is now one of the leading researchers in cancer research in British Columbia.
Yes, absolutely. The experience that the students get while working with us is invaluable. The skills that they learn will benefit not only them, but their future employer as well. I had a student come up to me just recently who worked with us during one of the summers, and she told me that she was applying the skills that she learned working with us to her classes. So not only is she taking what she's learned with us and applied it to her classes, but that is going to be so invaluable for her in her future career and beyond.
So we do a lot of hands-on work in the lab and in the field, so any skills that they gain working in the laboratory or working in the field, they can transfer them to their career. So if a student wants to be a chemical technologist, we offer a lot of training involved in instrumentation analysis, wet chemistry methods, and working with various sample matrices so they can gain all the skills that they need to be a successful chemical technologist. Throughout the years, I've worked with a lot of different students. So Patrick McGlashan was one of our first students that we hired on the project. for studying microplastics in the North Saskatchewan River. Since being a student, we've hired Patrick on as a full-time technologist, and I've got to watch him grow from early on as a student in his career to being a senior technician in this project. As well, I've worked with Nadia Linders, who is a student in our second year of the microplastic project. She also was hired on as a technician, and I have the pleasure of working with her throughout the years. Since they were once students, they kind of know what it's like being a student in NAIT and applied research, and they can kind of help the new students learn and go throughout their journey as a student with us.
When starting out, I expect a supervisor to be someone that I can come to with any issues or any concerns I have getting settled and comfortable in the lab, so that I can put my best foot forward and do the best work for them. Yeah, Jeremiah's definitely provided that. He's super accommodating. He's really approachable, really nice guy.
Just to be there whenever I have any questions and to walk me through any processes that I may not be very familiar with. Not exactly telling me how to do an experiment, giving me the freedom to create my own method, but just steering me in the right direction to make these experiments happen.
I mostly just expect somebody who's there to support you and to guide you when you feel you need it. And so far, I've been really pleased with that. A lot of jobs can be very micromanaging, and luckily this isn't one of them. It's hands-off enough that you get to do a lot of things yourself and be very independent, but it's also hands-on enough that you still have that safety net and you have the ability to ask questions and to see where information needs to help supplement you.
So students are essential because we get to work with them and mentor the next generation. I want to be able to pass on my knowledge, not only to others in the community, in the scientific community, but to students as well, because they will be the scientific community in the next few years.
Students are essential to clean tech because they bring in that passion and motivation for the work that they're doing. And it really helps us see our project through a fresh set of eyes, to understand why it's important, or to refresh our understanding of why it's important. It's worth more to us than the metrics. The student experience is valuable for us. Our student experience is enriching as researchers.